I watched the
Okay.
video.
Go ahead.
I watched the video you made with the other guy, and
Mm-hmm.
you were trying to explain it to him, but I just didn't fully understand it. And then when I tried to go back and back test it, it looks like everything was the opposite of what I was looking at. So I figured I better get it from the source.
Okay.
And the other thing is like last week, you know, I hear Paul Daly all the time talk about how he's making $1,000 off 10 pips.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, hey, that's great. I'm glad for him. That's great. But I've
Mhm.
asked him how he does it. And he's like, oh, you got to calculate, you know, lot size, and you got to calculate, you know, your base account, and
Yeah.
all this stuff he's doing. And I'm like, okay, but one, I don't trade on MT4 at all.
Right. Right.
So I don't know how to apply what he's talking about to TradingView, because
Okay.
when I click on to put a trade on, it says, you know, what is your, let me just show you what I mean. It
Okay.
says, you know, your risk,
Yeah.
your take profit, and your stop loss. And that's what I use. I use 1% risk
Yeah.
all the time,
Yeah.
every trade.
Okay.
So is there a way to increase what I'm earning per pip if I'm not changing my account size?
No.
The 1%?
No.
No, there's not.
No.
Okay, so then I
So
am doing it right.
you are, because 1% of your account is 1% of your account. You know what I mean?
That's
So
what I thought too.
yeah. So that's why we trade privately, you know, with the FTMO, because that gives us the size of account that we need.
Okay. Okay, well, damn, that's what I thought. I thought maybe I was doing something wrong.
No, 1% is 1%, man. I mean, you can always make more, but it's because you're leveraging more. You know what I mean? I mean, the only way to get more out of an account is to risk more than 1%.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm not interested in doing that, especially right now.
The FTMO.
No, I'm looking at the FTMO. I'm just
Mhm.
not interested in making, you know, larger percentage trades on each trade.
You
I'd rather
shouldn't.
stick with the 1%.
You should. You should.
Okay.
You should. Don't focus on risking more per trade. Focus on getting bigger account sizes.
Okay. That was one of the questions I had. So my next step, because like last month in April, I did not have a losing week. So I was pulling down, I don't know, anywhere from 200 to 500 pips a week.
Damn.
And I was like, yeah, but I'm making dollars, you know? I
So
want to
take
make
the FTMO.
hundreds of dollars.
You got to take the FTMO, and yeah, that'll be it.
Okay. Then that's the next step.
That's it. That is, well, here's the deal. Take the demo, because the demo is free. Have you ever taken the demo?
No.
Okay, so take the demo. It's free, and pass it, because there's a couple rules. You got to get used to the drawdown. You got to get used to the drawdown was the hardest part for me. And then yeah, pass it, and then take it again, pass it again, and then when you feel comfortable, when you feel confident that you can pass it, then, you know, get the account you want. I'm currently taking the FTMO, and doing fine with it. So I mean, it's definitely doable. It's not any sort of big deal. And then I think the way they do it is every 4 months they assess your account. If your account looks good, they double your account. But when you take the FTMO for a charge, you can purchase up to $100,000 account, I believe. If you pass the FTMO, they'll pay you back. If you fail it, they keep the money. So it's how confident are you to pass that test, you know? I just purchased the account size that I was comfortable with, and take the test for that.
Okay.
But you can have up to three $200,000 accounts. So it's crazy the amount of your 1% could be for over $500,000, So
right.
yeah, increase the account size.
Okay. Then that's the next step. My only
That is the next step.
My only problem with FTMO is you have to use the MT4. So I've got to go back, and now I've got to study MT4 again and figure out how to make it work.
No, see, here's the deal. So you're not going to change a lot. You're still going to do all your assessing, all of your stuff on TradingView, but then just on the MT4, just open the trade, set your stop loss, set your take profit, and that's it. You don't have to assess charts on MT4.
Okay. Excuse me, 1 second. Whew. I was going to sneeze. On the MT4, it has to continuously run though, right?
Yes, unless you get a private server. Yes, it does have to be open. I freaked myself out with that last week. I accidentally shut my computer down for an update or something, and it closed MT4, and it did. I thought it closed the trade. Technically, the trade stays open, so maybe FTMO has a private server. I don't know, but definitely MT4 shut itself down, and it freaked me out pretty good. So if I pass this test, I think I'm going to have to get a private server to trade off of, which is super cheap, by the way. It's not any sort of big deal.
Okay, when you say private server, what does that mean? Now, I am not a technical guy at all. So what does that mean?
I'm really not either. There are people who have like just rooms full of computers that never turn off. And so you purchase the ability to use a piece of their server, and they secure your data, they encrypt your data, but it's something when those of us that need things to run constantly, power outages, we can't have any interruptions. There are places that insulate and say the power will never turn off here. You know what I mean? Your data will never be stolen here. It's just like these little hubs for people that like us. You know what I mean? And so you purchase just this little piece of their whole deal, and you get like a gig of information. I haven't looked into it in probably 4 years. I was doing some banking stuff a couple of years ago where I needed it, but it was super easy to do, super cheap. And then so when you get onto your computer, you just log into that server, and yeah, it's the same. I mean,
so my computer can shut down at that point.
Yes.
Because I don't have to worry about it because they're constantly running.
Right.
Gotcha.
And you can swap from computer to computer. Like if you go to a buddy's house and you left your computer at home, you can just log in to your server on their computer. I mean, if your power goes out, you forget to plug in your computer or whatever it is, you don't have to worry about anything.
Okay, that's helpful. I will have to look into that.
Yes, look into it. I'm going to have to look into it too. So maybe we can put our heads together on that. But it is not expensive, or at least it wasn't a couple of years ago. I don't think it's expensive.
Okay. All right. Then moving on to the next subject, the DMI. Let me close everything else.
Okay.
And just do this. Okay. So my understanding is, let me explain where I'm thinking, and then you can hop in where I'm wrong. Okay. So the yellow line is like the median price. Okay. The red line is for sales, and the green lines are for buys. So when I look at this, and it's you know, it's going down. You can see it going down. For example, if you can go to the, do you want to get on my chart so I can point out what I'm looking at?
Yes. Let me do screen share here, and let's take it. Oops. Something. And yeah, let's take a peek at what you're looking at. Okay, go ahead. You're set.
Okay, so how do I do this again, please?
Should be in the bottom of your screen. It should say share screen.
The bottom of my screen.
At the bottom of your screen, it should say in green. It should say it should say like mute, stop video, security, and it'll say share screen.
Oh, you know why I'm not logged in? 1 second. I got to log into. Hold on. Open in Zoom.
And I left my. And can I come back in like 2 seconds while you do that? I'll be 2 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay?
So let's shut this one off.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. So we are on USD JPY.
Okay.
And I have this for a second. I have my chart up and I have my DMI up.
Okay.
So I see it as it's coming down. You know, this is where I wanted to sell it, but the green is on top.
The green is on top, but the DMI is below.
What does that mean? Okay,
so
this yellow line?
That yellow line is your DMI, okay? So look at that as like strength. So what we need 2 things to happen. We need for either the green or the red to be on top, and then we need for the yellow DMI to be above the horizontal key level.
And the horizontal key level is this white line.
Yes, yes. And what is your key level set on? Can you go to settings real quick? Do you know what it's set on?
I do not. 1 second.
Go to inputs.
Key level inputs.
Okay, I want you to. Can I get you to change this real quick, just so I know? Just set it to my settings. That way, what I'm telling you, and then you can play with it on your own.
Okay.
That way, what I'm telling you is what I actually know. Okay, if you can set the ADX smoothing to 1.
Okay.
Set the DI length to 5.
Okay.
And set the key level for ADX to 28.
Okay.
There you go. That's yeah. That's where I got mine currently.
All right. Well, you know what? 1 second. I'm going to write that down. So just in case I lose it somehow.
Just save it in your defaults there.
Oh, good idea. Okay. So I guess I don't have to print the internet. Save as default. Okay.
There you go. So I never mess with the ADX and the DI, but the key level is up for grabs. So you can set the key level depending on how you trade. Set the key level to where you want it to be. But I scalp, so mine's pretty low.
Well, I'm going to leave it where you have it now. So because I have no reference of what that does for me yet. So I'm going to leave it to where you have it set.
Okay.
Okay. So key level. So you're telling me this yellow line has to be for a sell.
Okay, so technically there's two yellow lines when I'm looking at it. So we're gonna say that the horizontal line is the key level, and the yellow and the up and down yellow line is the DMI.
Okay. So you're telling me the DMI level has to be above the key level.
Yes.
And then whatever is below that, whether it's red or green, is the action it's going to take.
Yes. So scalping, here's what I do. So let's go to 1700, right above your play. Oh no, I'm not. No. 7 o'clock. I'm sorry, 7 o'clock down at the bottom on the DMI.
What time frame are you on?
No, on yours right now. Just
oh, I see. Okay, say that again.
Go down to the 7 o'clock on the DMI.
7 o'clock. I don't understand what that means.
The times
7
down
o'clock.
On the bottom? Yes. Okay, so right here, if I was scalping, I would see that the green line is going lower, which tells me the market is losing buying power. And the red line is getting ready to, well, the red line's going down as well, but it's on top. The DMI is headed up. When the red line heads up with the DMI as well, that's when I know that there is power and volume in the market for that. As soon as the DMI starts to come back down, I know that it has lost power. So anytime the DMI heads back down towards the key level, I am looking for the trade to be over. So let's move forward to 8 o'clock here. You see the DMI fell and the red line fell back to the key level. I'm out of the trade when they start to fall, because you see how the green line is coming back up there?
Yeah.
That's showing that the green, the buying, is getting power now. And what I do is I watch very closely to see if the green and the red cross, because the DMI is very, very good at calling fake outs. That's what I use it for, is the fake out, the confirmation. If we fast forward to like 9:30, we see the right here, we've got the red and green going all over each other. I'm not taking any trades here. But we have another breakout. The red is going up, the green is going down, the red and the DMI break through the key level, very vertical, which is a great sign. And I'm staying in the trade. When it gets up to just before 11 there, you see it falls sharply. I'm out of the trade. I probably would have re-entered on the next one there where it went up. I would have re-entered, but I watch it very closely. And again, it goes into this consolidation thing. I'm not entering here. And then you see the red and the green cross. The green takes off, and the DMI and the green pass through the key level with a strong vertical, and I'm back in the trade.
As a buy, you're buying it at this point.
Yes, sir.
And then when this comes down to the key level, the DMI and the green line come down to the key level, you're looking to sell it because now the
yes,
red line is now rising.
Yes, the key level, the DMI has to turn around and take a sharp upwards movement again. Otherwise there's no volume in the market. So they kind of have to rise together. The red and
you
green
mean like
lines,
here? So like here, they came up, and they were both rising, and this came down. It's almost like divergence. I mean, if it shows it's going up and this should be coming down, it's kind of like divergence.
No, because when it's on a buy, it's not going to work that way. That's just power. It's just power. The DMI is just power in the market. It's volume, I guess. I think that's what it's based off of. I don't know. But the higher the DMI goes, the more power, the more momentum is in the market.
Okay, but this is where I get lost, because this example right here, where the DMI is really high
Mhm,
and it's in for a sell,
mhm.
it's not going down. It's just consolidating.
Well, but the DMI fell. When the DMI falls right there, I'm out of the trade.
Oh, I see.
I watched that DMI. The DMI goes up, 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 and then it tanks. And when it tanks, even though it's way up high above the key level, when it tanks, the key level is entry. But when the DMI tanks at the top, I'm out.
Oh boy. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Kinda.
Okay, so let's go back to
Because
10,
see, I see it
1030.
here. The DMI is up, so it's powerful. So it moved this, and the green was on the rise. And then now when it's coming back and it's crossing because it's got back down to the key level, now it's turning to go back down. But you're
Yes.
saying there's no the DMI could come down here and this red line can go falter, 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 and there's no power and it's probably going to go sideways.
Yes. The DMI has to go back up for there to be volume in the market, for there to be power in the market. Yes.
All right. All right. So let's look at another one.
Okay.
I'm on the 5-minute time frame. Does this work on the 4-hour?
I don't know. I use it to scalp. I use this on the 5-minute and the 1-minute pretty successfully.
All right.
I would
I'm gonna move to.
I would assume that it, because I used to use it on 15-minute and 1-hour charts. It's just going to move really slowly. But if you go to the 4-hour chart, if you want to know if there's volume in the 4-hour chart, I mean, it's going to read the same way.
Which one was I just on? Dang it. Oh, well, we'll start again. Okay, so USD. So, yeah, because the power comes up, it comes up, it's all buys. This came down, which means out of it right here.
Right. Out, no, back, go back. You're out of it there. To the left. One more to the left, one more to the left. We're out. We're out right where it goes down. When the DMI goes down, I'm out. Right.
Oh, so when this green line broke and this one started to go down, you were out.
Yes, when the DMI goes down horizontally, vertically, I'm out. One more to the right, go one more peg to the right. I'm out right there. I'm out.
I see.
Because look, okay. So look, this is kind of advanced DMI, and this is just kind of what I've figured out. Okay, but when the DMI comes down, just pretend like there's another key level up top. Okay, when the DMI comes down, you see that the red line is now moving up. It's the same. It's the same thing. When the DMI is high, and man, maybe I shouldn't even say this to you, but when the DMI is high and the wrong color is coming up, man, you can damn near ride that as a trade as well. Does that make sense? Like when the DMI is falling and the wrong color is moving, like when the red is moving up, that means red has power. So you gotta, yeah. So when the DMI starts heading down, I'm out because the opposite color is getting power.
So you're just going, I mean, I understand you're going with the trend at this point.
Yes.
So you're looking for buys when you're going with the trend.
Yes.
But theoretically, you could go, okay, well, the red's rising now, and I see the DMI coming up. I should sell this.
Yes. When I'm scalping, I scalp both directions sometimes. Especially in a ranging market, I will scalp both directions.
Okay.
Because I was trading yesterday, and like I think it was the Euro JPY. Yeah, Euro JPY has like a 1 spread, a 1 pip spread. I can scalp off of that all day, no matter which direction the market's going. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'll definitely scalp both directions.
No, I don't understand what you mean. What can you explain that?
Yeah, so when I scalp, I have to be very careful about the spread because when I scalp, I mean, the market might only lose 7 pips in a scalp. You know what I mean? So if it's a 5 pip spread, I can't scalp it. You know what I mean? I mean,
Oh, the spread, right? Gotcha.
yeah. So the Euro JPY is like a 1 pip spread sometimes, and shit. Excuse me, I can scalp both directions off of that, no problem. I mean, like 3 pips, and I'm making money. You know, so not a big deal.
Okay.
I had my strongest trading day last week on the 1 minute charts. Strongest I've ever had on the 1 minute charts. I made 3% in a couple hours.
Okay. Yeah, time for me, trading time is irrelevant. So you know, I say congratulations to those guys who can make, you know, 500 pips in 20 minutes because they're down on the 5 minute and the 1 minute. That's not me. Like I said, I'm hanging out in the 4 hours and
Absolutely.
the 1 hours minimum. So that's why I was wondering if this worked for those time frames.
I would say
because
so.
it would help me, you know,
Yes.
because I could see it rising here and know the minute it crosses here to get into it. Well, by the time you put on,
look here. I mean, like, let's say you're reading this and you're saying, okay, I've got a green candle. It's an upwards hammer, right? I've got a long tail on the bottom of these two candles. It's a buy, right? On the 4-hour chart, it's a buy. Like I'm getting in early. You know what I mean? Right or wrong, let's say you assume that. You would go down to the DMI and see, oh shit, no, the green line is headed down. In fact, the red line is right at the key level, and the DMI is headed up with red on top. No, in fact, this is going to be a continuation of a bear. You know what I mean? Do not buy here. So it would absolutely work in this circumstance.
For here,
yes.
Yes.
If I was reading this chart and I was considering entering a buy, I would look at the DMI and say, no way, I'm buying here. Because the red is on top and the DMI is headed up vertically, which is only like 50%, but nevertheless, green is not anywhere close to being in power here. So absolutely would not buy here. In fact, we would look for a continuation of the bear, probably to head down to one of these points of interest, whatever they're called, support, resistance, you know.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I see why you would be out of it for a buy here because it dropped. But like here, how do you determine that it's going to turn around? Because this dropped and yet it kept going up. I mean, how do you determine this stuff?
Okay, well,
right here.
Okay, will you move your, oh no, it's fine, it's fine. Okay, so right at 19.5, where the green, where the DMI goes vertical again, I would exit the trade there. Yeah, that's, I will.
Right there.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know that. That's kind of prophetic, but if you go ahead one candle, I would know there. You know what I mean? Because the DMI falls quickly.
Right there. Right there is where it tanked.
Right. So I would know from the DMI that that's when it's over. All of this is consolidation from whatever 20 to 25, and then the DMI takes off again. Would most likely enter the trade there for a sell at 25.
Are you talking about right here?
Go back to 25.
Where do you see 25?
On the timeline?
25th. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the 25th. Most likely on the 25th, I would re-enter for a sell. And then on the 27th, re-enter for a buy. I guess it'd be like the 20. Yeah, it would have one more ahead where it breaks through. I would enter for a buy right there. Yeah.
Right there.
Mhm.
Okay. Whew.
I can tell
I
there's something
almost
here
feel,
that's making you uncomfortable.
well, I almost feel like the red and the green lines are backwards.
Why?
You know what I mean?
No.
Because yeah, these are for a buy,
Mhm.
but I guess that's right because the red is way down here.
Right.
So then
There's
you're looking at when it pushed up here, you would have been in for a sell.
no, because the DMI is still tanking. The DMI would have to be up as well. I would look for a sell there, or be starting to.
So you're looking for this to go, I know it's going to be rough, but you're looking for this to go up like this again.
Yes. Yes, it
And you're
could. I mean,
looking,
yes.
and you're looking for the red or the green, which one of them comes
Red.
up, and whichever one it is,
Mhm.
if it's red, I know it's going to be a continuational sell.
Yes.
And if it's a green that bobs up here, we're going to have a turnaround to have it go back up.
Yes.
But this has to be up no matter what.
Yes. The DMI shows the power.
Gotcha.
So red or green on top, it does not make me enter a trade. It just shows me who's currently in power, right? Which way is it likely to go? But when the DMI goes up, it shows me, okay, whoever is in power right now has power. The DMI.
So if this thing comes way down here, if this red pops up and it comes way down here, like this, it works its way down to the red, and then DMI is up here again, and it pops back up and it goes green up here. I know there's power in the market, and now it's going into a buy.
Yes.
And that's when I should enter into a buy down here to
Yes.
have it go back up. And I want to make sure this green is above the key level before I enter.
You want to make sure the DMI is above the key level. You want to make sure the green is above the red. So the green and the red.
So the green and red can be down here.
They can.
But if the
they
DMI is
can.
up here.
Right. So the key level is only really for the DMI. Now, if the green or the red pop through the key level, that's like superpower. That's like superhero power. Okay. But they don't technically have to be through the key level. The DMI does.
Gotcha.
If they're both through the key level, it's like money. It's gold at that point. I mean, you're supercharged then.
Okay. That actually makes total sense now.
Good.
So I'm looking for the power with the yellow, and then whichever one's on top is the direction it's going.
Yes.
And if it's above the key level, it's really going to go.
Yes. Yes.
That is explained simply. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. This is my number one indicator. This is my buddy.
Yeah, I can see why.
I want to tell you that you can turn off the candles and trade the DMI with high accuracy.
Yeah, see, my goal, to be quite frank with you, is to turn off everything except the DMI. No stochastics, no RSI, no nothing.
Look,
just use Baker's candles, DMI, and move forward.
Watch. Just expand the DMI where it takes up the whole screen. It's on the options. It'll be the box on the far right. There you go. You can trade off of this indicator by itself.
So really, you're just watching the power,
Yes.
and then as this breaks through, you're purchasing here,
Right.
and when it breaks here, you're just selling or closing the deal, I should say.
Not the green, the DMI. I don't watch the green for ins and outs. I watch the DMI. So I would stay in a little longer, go to the right, one click. I would be out as the first candle after it fell, I would be out. So look, let's just do this. Do you have your vertical line? Look, you have your vertical line on your indicator. I mean, not on your indicator, but you have your vertical line. Just put a vertical line at like 27.25.
Vertical.
Yeah. Okay.
Horizontal. So vertical.
Yes.
27.
So
and a
where
quarter.
the green breaks through, the key level, put a line.
This one.
Yeah. Go to the right one more, or you know what? That's fine. I technically.
Oh,
yeah,
you're talking about this one.
Yes, right there. And now
okay.
Put a line where the key level falls.
Or are you talking one. Back here?
Go one to the right, because that's technically not fair. Let's pretend like we can't see it. Go one to the right. Okay, now pull the candles back up. Let's say you just traded off the DMI. Now pull the candles back down and see what the trade looks like.
Okay. Back down.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's how you trade the DMI.
Okay. Well, that's pretty simple, huh?
Because look here, the good thing about the DMI is, let's go to, okay, right above where you're at, there's a powerful green candle, right? And then to the right, there's one red candle that looks like the market could be reversing, right? But if you look at the DMI, the key level isn't going down. So that is a fake out candle that the DMI showed me. No need to exit the trade there, because the DMI says green is holding strong. The key level has not dropped vertically. So no way I'm exiting on that candle. You know what I mean? It gives me security.
Right, because the green one could very well still pop up and have more power come back in like it did over here.
Right. But when that first red candle comes up, usually we're thinking, man, is the market changing directions? Man, is this imbalance? Is it about to fall? Well, you look at the DMI and you see, no, in fact, everything is just fine. This is a bullshit fake out candle. You know what I mean? The market is holding strong. And until the DMI falls, I'm staying in the trade.
Wow, that is super cool.
Yeah. I really like it. I trade with it constantly. I've gotten quite good at it.
Yeah, because that worked back here as well.
Yes, it works. No, it works everywhere. It works everywhere. Now look here, when this red candle comes up where you've got that circle, well, where that red candle comes up, now we know that's not a fake out candle because the DMI fell. We're out. Right. Yeah, no, that's not a fake out. That's a true blue market is shifting candle. You know, you see the difference between those two. The DMI stayed up on one and the DMI broke on the other. We know what's happening.
Right. Right there.
Yeah. The DMI fell. That's it.
So I would have been out of that trade until the power came back up. And even though the power came back up, look at that. It still didn't do anything because it's not above the key level.
Because it's not above the key level, but you would have made money on that trade because the DMI was up. If you enter and exit, if you draw your vertical lines on there, you would have won that trade. That DMI would, I mean, it wouldn't have been a power move, but it would have been a profitable move. Yeah, we're gonna go to the right just a smidge.
Okay.
We're gonna enter here.
Enter there for a buy.
For a sell because the red's on top.
For a sell because the red's on top. You're right.
Right. And then we're gonna exit.
Right there.
Yeah, I would have exited, honestly, probably one before that. Really, truthfully, I would have exited there. Or been looking really closely. I would have been looking really closely at exiting. If it popped back up, I might stay in the trade. But if it fell again, I'd definitely be out. So somewhere in this general area, I would have been out of the trade. So not a hugely profitable trade, but it shows that the DMI was correct.
Right. Right. This is the one. This is what I'm looking for right here. That nice big move up.
Right. So that's trading with the trend. If you
Trading
trade
with the trend,
yes,
power, the green is over the key.
Yes.
And then as soon as it dropped, I would be out.
So trading with the trend is definitely where the power comes from. But the DMI is accurate both directions. It's just that the moves aren't as powerful.
You know, actually, if you think about it, this consolidation right here, as it rides down here, I wouldn't be in the trade anyway. But seeing the power come up out of it, I'm now waiting for something to decide.
Yes.
And that green line was the deciding factor. That's where it went.
Yes. You know that it's not going to head down further in a bear market. Yeah, man, the DMI gives a lot of information, dude. It gives a lot of information. To me, it's like seeing behind the scenes of what's going on. And you watch it, man, the DMI, those red and green lines, like they'll be doing this, and then the red and green will be going like this, and they'll touch, do not enter the trade. They'll touch, and then they'll turn back out like this and head back up. And it is such a fake out. And that's what I use it for mostly. They'll go like this and then pop back out. And go like this and then pop back out. And when you're scalping, it's essential, essential information.
Well, yeah, because that's what it did here too. Look at that. You're right. That's exactly what it did. It came down, touched, started heading up. I would have entered there and been out there. Man, that's what? What is that? It's only 266 pips, you know, not much.
Right. It's a good day.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, you know, pulling a few of these trades off is a lot better than getting caught in stuff like this and missing it.
Yes, absolutely.
Because as you can see here, look at this. Look at the arrows. Look at the arrows that I had. Sell, sell, sell. And then I went and took a nap because the market was closing. I didn't want to get hit with a huge spread. And when I came back, this is what I came back to. And it's like, well, I missed the whole move.
Right.
Because there was no way for me to tell when it was finally going to go down.
Right. That's right.
This
exactly
would have told me.
Yes. Yes. If you wanted to enter on a sell, you can trade the DMI backwards. You can trade the DMI fall back to the key level. So if you were dead set on a sell here, when the DMI broke and the red started coming up towards the key level, you can make that trade. And I do that scalping sometimes. That's kind of advanced DMI stuff. I wouldn't recommend that for new DMI users, but you can trade the DMI backwards. It's riskier, but you can do it.
Right, but I'm looking at a pullback anyways. So I was already looking for a sell.
That's right, and that's the deal, and that's the deal.
Right, so the minute it crossed this green line down here, should have been my signal to sell. And that's that red candle.
Your signal to sell, yeah.
Because I was looking for a sell anyways.
Yeah. Technically, if you were looking for a sell, you could go back to the left one.
Right there.
left again, right there. You could technically be looking at a sell right there because the green is headed down, the red is headed up, and the DMI is headed down. That's trading the DMI backwards. You're trading the DMI coming towards the red rather than moving with the green. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? So
Mm-hmm.
if you're looking for a sell, you can do that. It's riskier, it's trickier, but if that's what you're looking for, the DMI is accurate like that as well. Here's the deal. So here's the deal. Let me put this in context for you. Let's say that I was looking for a sell, okay? Like, because I use this with my Fibonacci zones, okay? So let's say we're moving up towards the 78 on a buy, moving up towards the 78 on a buy, but I'm looking for the sell, right? The drop from the 78. Well, when the sell hits, the DMI is going to be super high on the green, but it hits the 78 and tanks, right? And the DMI is coming back towards the key level and the green is falling. I'm taking the sell because I'm at my 78 and the DMI is falling. So technically I'm trading the DMI backwards, but I've hit my level. So I'm comfortable trading it backwards. And that's really the only time I do it. With another confirmation. Like if I hit divergence on the MACD, I'll trade the DMI backwards, but I have to have some other sort of confirmation to do it.
Right. That's why I'm saying when it comes down here to my zone in the bankers,
yes,
and it's coming back down, the power is coming back down, and it's green and it's red, and I'm looking for the buy. I should be looking for the green going up.
Yes.
To meet it.
Yes.
To cross that line to get into the trade going up.
Yes. Yes. It's a little, the earlier you get in on the DMI, the more volatile it is. But yes, that is correct in theory. It is correct. And you can get really good at that.
Yeah, because even if I catch it here, you know, I've missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles.
Right.
However, this will keep me from going into drawdown.
Right. And that is the killer on the FTMO is drawdown. That's what was killing me. And that's kind of what made me really start leaning on the DMI because there is no drawdown on the DMI. Well, if you trade the DMI, like when I'm scalping, the green and the key level are, the green and the DMI are above the key level when I scalp. I don't trade just the DMI. Both of my lines have to be above the key level, and then I'll take the trade. And that means zero drawdown. That means there's so much damn power. Like when I get in, I just shoot past my spread, and I'm winning the trade like instantly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I wait for both confirmations to be above the key level, both lines to be above the key level.
Okay.
Here's what I do. Listen, I go to the 1-day chart and say, what's the trend? It's a sell. Then I go to the 4-hour chart. What's the trend? And it's got to be a sell. 1-hour chart, it's a sell. 15 minutes, it's a chart. 5 minutes, it's a sell. And then on the 1 minute, I'm taking sells. I mean, the whole damn thing is headed downhill when I'm taking the trade. You know what I mean? And then I'm scalping these sells on the 1 minute. But the whole market is headed that direction. So when the DMI and the sell line go through the key level, yeah, I mean, I'm hitting the market at its strongest in my opinion, you know, and it works out pretty well.
All right. Okay, I think you've answered my questions.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm definitely giving this a shot this week.
You should. You're not. It's not going to steer you wrong. I mean, this is a really strong indicator. And if you want to practice with it, turn off the candles and use your vertical lines and say, this is where I would enter, this is where I would leave, and then pull the candles back down and see how it looked and kind of perfect your strategy with the DMI without being able to see the candles.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then, you know, that's good practice. And then see how your trades end up, and you'll learn to read the DMI really well like that.
Okay. Boy, that's hugely helpful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Tom. You are welcome.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I've got two more weeks of, I want to be positive on both weeks, winning both weeks, and give this time to track it for 14 days so I can really get this down. And then I'm going for my FTMO.
The FTMO trial is 14 days long. The demo trial. So man, you ought to get used to drawdown. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to do it. Just get used to the drawdown, get used to the metrics, get used to signing in, get used to checking, your trade between TradingView and MT4. Just kind of start making that second nature to yourself. I did that for like a month and a half, dude. Just like getting used to using it, because you can make mistakes and they're horrible. They're horrible.
Yeah.
The other day I was scalping. I entered a trade, Euro JPY, and on MT4 I put it on as CAD JPY or something like that, or maybe it was Euro GBP. Anyways, man, I tanked it. I tanked a trade bad. I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on, but it was just like the letters. I was thinking about all these different things, and the letters got transposed in my head, and I entered the wrong freaking market, man.
Oh my God.
But you just got to practice that stuff, and also we are spoiled to draw down on our own accounts. You should see what is expected of you in drawdown, because I was winning trades. Like, I technically would have been passing the FTMO, but I kept killing drawdown because I was so used to, like, the market would go the wrong direction. I'd say, oh, it's not a big deal, we'll come back. Like, I'm confident, this is no big deal, I'm trading with trend, and I would just let it ride, and then I would win the trade. It's not a big deal to me. FTMO is not like that, man. I mean, the drawdown in FTMO is very, very small, and you got to kind of perfect that craft.
Okay. I think that's where this DMI comes in.
I think so. It did for me. This is what cured my drawdown issue, was the DMI, or they call it the demon. I don't know why, but that's what cured my drawdown.
Okay, cool. I will work on it.
Very cool.
Again,
man.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.